I'm excited because this one part of the film I want to see how it's going to go out, because this film is an action film and this is where the action really begins. Very dangerous because there are a lot of vehicles that are coming and are not aware of what we are doing. All we've been doing before now is just offices, instruction, but right now we're into action proper. You understand? We're going to see how the bad cops operate and what happens to the bad cops. You understand? So that's what we want to do now. The roadblock incident, which is the real crux of the matter. The roadblock incident is the real crux of the movie. On action! On action! Road trip! Action, man, come down motor. Tell him shut up. Look at the line here. No, the last place now.
What you're going to see is where the police guys took their victim to the bush and tried to eliminate them, but incidentally the guys took off, escape. That's what we're going to see now.
Cut it.
Shall you cut more? Give me, cut make a hold on. Just hold on for me.
I use it as a pad for
explosions.
gunshot effects.
Okay.
To protect the body.
Not gonna blow. Go blow! I don't touch me. No touch you.
No touch you. No touch you.
We'll be having special effects like the gunshots. You're going to see how we do it here. Out there, in the civilized world, so to say, the big countries, when they do their movies, they have all these things in place. But here, we improvise these items, like the gunshots. Like the gun, like here now, you see the gun there, but you won't see any gunshot. We use knockout.
Here, we do not really have stuntmen and all that. Okay, so for those of us who have the skills, I guess I get injuries every time I feature in movies like this. But that's price to pay.
Think, go.
Stop it! I want it! Stop!
The explosion. Yes. What I'm scared of is just the explosion. It will go come up my face.
That's why I use enough masking tape. The masking tape to hold it. Wait.
Okay.
Just hold it.
I'm just telling her to make sure she places it well so that she knows what she's doing. And I'm trying to protect my face too. This is going to be my last movie. This is Nollywood where the
for where live day.
We're worried of them getting injured, because if anyone gets injured, through that, times without number. You understand? And so we're not really bothered. But as human beings, we'll be worried. Because injured now, that will slow down. Not even slowing down, but disrupt.
Stop the one left ground.
This is Metropolis.
My police props, they are all here. And it was quite
mostly action sequences. Because we are starting out a whole lot earlier, and we got good weather.
Mina?
Action!
Are you Mina?
Yeah. Something.
Don't turn around. Don't move! What the?
Don't point it at your back.
What the hell are you trying? What has come over you?
Why did you kill Maudie?
Dead.
If the other two are dead and Raimi is nowhere to be found, it's the only logical conclusion. Before breakfast, as I said, I've actually done two things. So I was telling myself, there are no certain things. Never. No. Labs, we have a major lab. First of all, the GP are supposed to arrangement for another jeep in a hurry.
We have no option. We have to sit under the tree to wait.
Where you are shooting and you are seeing it, it's like a Polaroid system. And so we have many more directors because they are seeing what they are shooting. So it us in Africa especially, where we have a lot of folk stories, traditional stories, out with stories in the shortest possible time.
Start making movies in such a way that the camera should speak, they should do more of the talking, while the actors do less of the talking.
Because there's no electricity, I had to turn on the gen so I can edit my job.
If we can take production to the next level, then Mollywood will grow.
As the Indians have done, they started exploring their culture, which they have so much, and today
even though they were not doing it right as per that time, today they have grown, and I think that's the same thing happening to us. But the magic is that we do it faster than anybody in the world.
Let's move it. Let's go. Quickly. You go cut him, get in uniform. Oh, yeah, come go take quickly now. Whatever I did, let's do it fast. That's what I don't know. Come make love here.
This is the last day, and
what?
It's going to be full of action. Like running around, the arrest of the leader of the bad cops. That's what we're about to do now. I'm very sure we're going to make it by the end of the day. Yeah. It might be late, but we're going to make it to the court. Today is the last day of the shoot.
Hey, wait. This is not a location pass. No, I'm going to look at a location pass. Action!
Super Jack.
Might take a look at the ID card again, sir.
Look, don't just embarrass yourself, Sergeant. Don't embarrass yourself. Look, if you do not know how to show respect to your seniors, I'll teach you. Now, ask that guy to take that thing off the road. Huh? What's your problem? I'm telling you to remove this. Tell this man to remove this thing.
Hey, go after him.
Start him. Come on. Cobra, you wait. Come back. Come back.
Come on,
Come back. You're like hounds after your thing.
Let everybody leave, man. Shit.
Let's go. Get me this guy. Alright, everybody here, just clear right back. Where? That way, sir. Okay, all of you, move! Stop! What? What are you talking about? Give him back the gun.
What?
Give him back the gun. Give him back the gun.
There ain't no way I'm gonna go after a confirmed killer unarmed.
Who says you're going to the bush? You gonna try stopping me? If you take a step into the bush, I'll shoot your legs. I'll find a way to justify that.
You can't. Man, there ain't no way I'm gonna stand here without a gun. I ain't gonna do that,
Just
man.
make sure you don't get into the bush. There's no way I can explain that the civilian was shot. You, take her.
Good job.
Stop, come back. Thank you. Come on, shoulder. Come.
It's going to be a great movie, you know. It's going to be a great movie. I believe that. I know what we've done. You know.
Waiting, man. Move that ambulance.
This is the last thing they're going to shoot for the movie. The last thing they're shooting for the movie, and that what we're doing now. By the time they come back from that scene, we'll be gone. We've gone home. I'm happy to go home. Honestly, I miss my wife for the past 11 days. I've not seen my wife, I've not seen my kids. I'm homesick.
Mary, as the ambulance is going, you're there. Stand by. Quickly. On action now, let the ambulance go. Emeka, everybody bounce to the people guys. Policeman, bounce to the white. Ambulance goes, police vehicle follows it. Come on, we'll talk in my car. Come on, we'll talk in my car. How bright is it? Let me see. Let me stop.
Get up.
You're gonna have 9. Rotate. Stand by. Police are about to do your vehicles. Ambulance goes in front with siren wearing and the thing follows. Siren, remember?
I'm rolling.
And lights flashing. Everybody there, come back this way. Rolling. Boss, he's gone. He left. Wait.
your tour. My pleasure. Good man. Okay. Hold on. That's the end of the movie. We're shot in 11 days, which is one of the longest days in shot. I cannot tell the white man's story. He tells me his own story in his own movies. It's still the same basic themes: love, action, but we are telling it our own way, our own Nigerian way, African way. We have diverse cultures. There's so many that in the next 10 lifetimes, I don't see us exhausting the stories we have.
But this guy needs a proper hospital. Look here, you're a doctor. Please do something. I'm not going to touch him again until I see a police report.
Initially, people weren't seeing us or taking us too serious. But now, they're beginning to have interest. Nobody is perfect. A Rome wasn't built in a day.
Nollywood has changed and it will keep changing. Nollywood can never go down. So Nollywood is the magic now. We're trying to build the magic.
We're still evolving, so people got to be patient with us. I believe very soon we're not only going to have better movies, we'll have that original Nigerian movie.
Action!
还可以啊，不错。你呢？
很好啊，我们这里太阳很好，我在花园舒适一点。吃饱了吗？
吃饱了，可是我的饭有很多水啊，很烂。
哦，可惜。
你上班怎样吗？
很累，所以我要停。
哎妈，我要走了，有事啊。希望很快就见你啊。
As an only child, I've always had a close and conflictual relationship with my mother. When I was 23, I moved to Cape Town and lived with two other young women who also had complex relationships with their mothers. I wanted to know how much we, as mothers and daughters, did and didn't know about each other's lives. I had little idea of the journey that was to come.
你们呢？哪边？
很热，这个班子很热。
热，怎么样会热？
不是那因为我们不同的地方嘛，一个北，一个南，一个北。
那个不是啊，我要煮面的时候，
In April 2006, I moved in with Myra and Danele. Danele is originally from Lesotho and Myra from Argentina, but we each call South Africa home. Our mothers live thousands of miles away, in different cities, countries and continents. Myra's mother is in Johannesburg, Danele's in Botswana, and mine in London. The only people that ever phoned our landline were our mothers.
Hello?
Conversations would flow forth in Chinese, Sotho or Spanish. Despite the different languages, we all spoke about the same things. The weather, food, clothing, yet not much else. How much did we really know each other? Having been a physical part of our mothers, I wanted to know if we could ever see each other as distinct human beings, each with their own destiny. I looked at the conflict in each of our relationships to see what I could learn. Everything is my favorite. Looks amazing. That blood sausage, that's my favorite. So it's that, las chinchulines y las mollejas. Estos son mis favoritos, it's my favorite. And how does an Argentinian guy compare to a South African guy? You can't. I'm sorry, Argentinians are just way light years ahead in terms of fries.
Mami, move away. No, porque se corta. Ay, pero me impresiona, Mayra. No, no, don't worry. No, Mayra, no. Mami, please.
Check, this is a farewell party kind of. When I was little and we left Argentina, and that's all my friends in RG, and that's me there. She never brought me up really, well, I never saw her often because she used to work. My grand really brought me up. She felt like a woman to me, more than a mother. She was like a woman in my life.
How do you think your mom thinks of you?
Oh, that I have no idea. I don't know.
What picture do you think she might have of you in her head?
I'm stumped. I really don't know what she thinks. I have no idea what she could possibly think.
Look here. Such a beauty. Really? This one is in Argentina. In the small town in this time, 80 seats. Nobody moved. Everybody stay in the small town. And this time was very difficult time. The economy and the work was very difficult in Argentina. And always Mayra say, I moved here because you moved me here, because it was not my choice, was my parents' choice. I'm here in the first time with her brother, in the first years of October. We live in Europe. Really it's difficult to adapt ourselves to the new culture. I try to help in the homework, but in the beginning my English was not good and they don't want my help.
Because at the beginning I couldn't speak English, so that in itself makes you feel very isolated. So, and then when you can speak, you never quite feel like you belong. You just work hard and you just carry on. And I think that is great because in a way that keeps you going, and that's great. But I think that not everyone can be okay with that.
I suppose because really I am very old-fashioned person, and sometimes I think this is the way you need to be in the life, and I don't open for discussion. I suppose it was my big mistake to be so like a wall, and nobody can destroy this wall.
We just fought and screamed. I don't think I've ever said 2 words to her, like when I was a teenager, only to fight. I got involved with, I guess, the wrong crowd many times over, but they were the same as me. Like the wrong crowd was just as unhappy as I was, and we made each other happy. So I always have feelings about my mother, and I guess at the moment I'm not connected to those feelings. So they're there. I'm not interested in them.
Do you think you and Maya understand each other? Not really. I rely with all my heart.
The Lord has risen. No, the Lord has risen. That's why I'm slowing down. Watch those cars. They're far.
Children at this stage are very interesting. They can say anything, they will do it. She was an open child. Anything that happened at school I would know. Every weekend I washed their hair and braided myself. They were clean. They were smart. Sundays, we went to church. My mother was Anglican. My father was LEC, Lesotho Evangelical Church. That has been a family of church leaders.
Wine tasting when I was growing up is a thing that was unheard of. Not unheard of, but I mean like, who goes wine tasting? You know, especially in our family.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
There was never a situation where what I said mattered. And it was always no, like, no you can't do this, no you can't do that. This is how it should be. I always felt like, I didn't do well maybe in an exam, and therefore, I'm gonna get into trouble, I'm not good enough.
Outside school, it was time for homework. From homework, it was time to sleep. The following next day, just like that. There is no time that when they brought a video or a friend gave a video that I didn't see. They watched what we liked.
The things that my friends were doing, having sleepovers, going to watch movies at cinemas, they were, I don't know, like on weekends hanging out with their friends, you know, and those were things that I, you know, was not doing.
As a teenager, she was still open, but there were some changes there, where she had a lot of friends. As a parent, then I had to get interested in her friends. So I had to draw them closer to me. She was more open to other girls, which made me jealous as well.
I think she thinks that I'm usually like in the library or studying and whatnot. Usually I'm not.
I know, even when I am asleep, I know she's either waking, she's reading, she's in the library, or asleep. That I'm convinced of. I am.
When you had your child, and provided that your child is healthy and born and developed normally, I think that's enough to thank that you got a healthy child, especially only child, because you got no other distraction from other children. You just concentrate on Sarah. We give her the full support of everything. I mean, we grow up without even have bicycle. Even bicycle is not easy to buy. Cannot afford to buy.
As a child, we travelled a lot. When I was born, we moved straight to Kenya. Then when I was 4, we moved to Indonesia, which was great because we could be with my mom's family. And then when I was 8, we moved to Botswana, where I stayed till I was 15. My childhood was extremely secure because even though we were travelling all the time, I felt a lot of love from my parents. I guess I never grew up in England, so when I moved there when I was 15 from Botswana, it was quite alienating, and as soon as I could, I moved back to Southern Africa. I moved back to Cape Town. When I was a child, we fought over, like, I had to go to piano lessons, I had to eat whatever the food was. When I was a teenager, it was around my independence and going out, and she can see who I am to a certain extent, but she blocks off certain things that if she thought about it, she would know about me, but she just blocks off.
During the making of the film, a serious conflict began between my mother and I.
以前没有讲。It's clown food. This video makes you look like you've got a deep, deep, deep orange tan.
I do.
She just couldn't even look at him or speak to him. She was completely became like a crab or some kind of creature that had been injured. She couldn't deal with the fact that my boyfriend was a person of color. We try and talk about it, and she just like starts screaming and shouting and going on about blood and like race and black and dark, and it was a complete shock. And I know what my choice was, and I couldn't make any other choice. And she got on the plane, and then I couldn't speak to her. And we went from speaking really every day, or every couple of days, to not speaking for the best part of the year. Not speaking at all, not once.
Oh, 我没有讲话的时候，我们在电话里没有讲话，是因为互相生气。我是有我的生气，你也是你的生气，因为你还有通电话在这边是吗？跟爸爸。如果听到电话响着，我是很生气每天，但是没有办法是吗？如果你不要跟我讲话，我不要，我是没有想说要去讲，因为如果我要讲，不是你每天生气。不是更糟吗？当然那个时候心很痛，但是没有办法是吗？已经发生了。我觉得最好就是静静不要讲，身后一直讲过去每天。虽然过去每天工作的时候就不会想，停在的时候睡在床上一定会想到，但是这样的问题不是一天能够解决的，所以就是过了那么几个月都很快的过去。我不知道怎样讲了。
Attempt to cope. I wanted to understand the gulf between my mother and I, so I looked to see how the other women in the film interpreted their conflicts.
Did you miss the call?
Now apparently this is the call I missed, and I thought it was Yabi, but it's not, so I want you to erase it.
Erase this number?
Okay.
So you go up and delete from list, okay.
Okay, let's go. Why did it appear again yet you had deleted it?
Because you had missed the call and then you had received it. So I deleted it from received and missed calls.
Okay.
If I, feel like sleeping in,
my mom would be like, normal people will have had breakfast at this time, we should be cleaning the house and da 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 da. Like in her mind, what she's doing is teaching us ways in which to function as human beings in the world that, you know, is sort of measured by how productive we're being in the day. Like sometimes she'll be like, I don't know what kind of children I raised, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know I'm strict, and I'm strict even to myself. I know I deny myself a lot of things that even my friends or some other people that do. But don't just do things because people are doing something. I want something that I can account for in my life. I now wonder whether they think I was too strict, but really I didn't want to corrupt their minds with useless things.
I feel that there's sort of like a disconnect between the way my mom brought me up and the values that she instilled in me and the person that I have become.
This is the asado, lady. Argentinian asado. It's the same one we bought in the pick and pay, but very thin, which is not the same like in the English or the Africana is dry. But it takes too long, and my son is hungry. Can't wait.
Planes de viaje.
Eso es tema, pero yo viste de lo
See, what happens is that when I'm there, it's like you walk into a sauna and the heat gets a lot and you have to get out because at some point you just can't take the heat anymore. But when you're away from it, you don't really remember what that heat is like. As I see more and more the reality of where I am and what surrounds me in terms of like my family, the more it hurts to see how little there is there.
Sometimes I want to talk with her and to say, and it was already so far. But I hope when she hears the things, she realized I always open to talk and to see what is inside her, what is going in your life, what is the worry, what is her dreams, because everything is in the life of our daughter or our son. We need to know because it's part of our life.
The relationship I have with her is very complicated. It's like a tapestry of things, and within it is like a lot of emotions that run at the same time and for some reason can't run separately. It's very seldom that there is joy and laughter and stuff without there being kind of a weight around it about other things. It's not only about now when I'm with her. It's about now and it's about 3 years ago and it's about 5 years ago and it's about stuff that I didn't get from her or that I need to get from her now.
Nobody teach you to be a mother, and you need to learn through the life. Sometimes you need to guess, and sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes you made a mistake, and sometimes you say how I can fix this mistake, how I can go through the life to think if I made a mistake. I don't have the arm to fix it. I don't have the capacity to fix. But always I say, if I done any mistake in my life, because I didn't know better, this is the reason.
After not for a year, my mother reached out to me. She sent me a text message saying, "I miss you." Having been away from England for 2 years, I decided it was time to visit. Being together, it was as if nothing had changed. I felt ready to try and understand where she was coming from.
你大概我吃不完了都，太多太久。什么太久？你没吃一半吗？你跟太多啊？你放辣椒了？我没有。有你放了。有我吃我的辣椒啊。我没有放啊。你是生气啊？没有。我吃了啊。太多 ，too much。哪个不要吗？一半。你不要。你不要吃啊？嗯。就吃一半了你。我不要。我给我拿起来的，不要吃。拿人家会到。然后刚才我早上不吃饭了嘛。好吃。I arrived London in the very early 70s. The situation there in Indonesia is a little bit of anti-Chinese at that moment. So some young people like me that thinking about the future that want to get out the government that treat us a little bit sounds like second-class citizen. 英国人也是没有习惯那么多我们外侨的人，所以生活好像比较没有那么容易。等就回来，好像等得很久。但一回来在一起的时候，就好像你没有再回去，不接着就过去了，因为每天都是忙着吃啊。趁这个机会。I'm
sure the pie is nice.
Would you like some spinach with it?
Oh no, thank you. No.
Let me suggest that. Sarah. It's just a tummy burst.
Oh dear.
And I wear this old jeans so that more space on.
Here's Maggie. You know that, do you?
My dad's been incredible through this. He's fully stood by me, and I've learned a lot about my dad in this whole conflict and how much integrity he has.
It's been good being here. It's been good being here because for the first time in my life we've been able to speak about a lot of things. But the only reason that's happened is because we're fighting.
She said it's like she has to let go of the idea of me she had and of what she wanted for my life.
She doesn't seem to realize that she's causing a lot of pain by being very aggressive towards my boyfriend and towards me about my boyfriend. I find it very difficult to be around her when she's resisting such a huge part of my life. So I don't know when we're going to see each other again.
I got back from the UK in January, and since then I've hardly been able to speak to her. But now the crux has come because I'm graduating in June and she wants to come to the ceremony. It's so important to her, and I don't want her to come.
Video? Yeah. Oh, I see. All right. Yeah. I was waiting for that.
She was absolutely desperate not to lose me, and I could see her trying desperately hard to vaguely completely interact with him just by speaking a few words, but even then, I could see it was like almost physically impossible for her.
因为你们去外面了的，你们长大了，你们的什么很什么的啊？你们以为你们讲的东西，你们想的东西，小孩子，你们年轻人，你们以为是你们对的啊，别人就是错的。好像每次你看到人啊，哦，你说哪个人只是哪个人讲的，你们有哪个 view 了的啊？你懂吗？
John and I went to visit my family in Singapore, and I guess part of that was wanting him to see the rest of my family, and also just to try and find out whether it was my entire family that was going to reject John, my entire Chinese family, or whether it was just her. And I found out it was a bit of both.
At one point she screamed at me, "You've never been Chinese." No, I said to her, "Yeah, well, after that trip to Singapore, I'm disowning my Chineseness." And she says, "You were never Chinese from the start." I was like, right, okay.
The relationship between me and Sarah is you can't tell, but because it's only just one, you always think of her only, and whatever she does, you always have to forgive to say that, oh, that's her. And it's your child, and it's that one only, nobody else, and that's the important about it. Nobody else is more important than your child. That even though how grown up she is, you still think that is your child, isn't it?
The years were passing, and my mother and I were still in a deadlock. I wanted to know how Zani and Maya were getting on with their mothers. This coincided with important events in their lives. Maya and Ana Maria were visiting Argentina together for the first time since they emigrated, and Zanella's grandmother had recently passed away.
I'm going to Argentina for my cousin's wedding. I'm feeling really very excited, and I'm feeling so happy for the travel, for the expedition to Argentina. It's the first time we do this year we travel together with the older family.
My connection to the place seems to have gone, which is a very strange thought. The whole trip was a bit surreal and incredibly charged with a lot of different kinds of emotions. It was exhausting to have all my family there at the same time after such a long time of not seeing them. It brought up a lot of stuff for me that I had no way of escaping. I was quite stressed, and she comforted me. It was a very simple affair, which was really nice. I enjoyed that.
So it's been a long time since we did the other interviews.
Yeah, long time. And yes, and the time passed, and really everything changed in our life. Everything changed for good.
In 2009, I had endometriosis and I had to have an operation. My mom came and looked after me. The following year at exactly the same time, I got malaria and I had to go into hospital and I was a wreck. I couldn't do any of the normal things that people do. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do any of that stuff that was not available to me. And my mom was literally with me every step of the way. When I got up at night because I couldn't sleep, she would get up with me, and that was a month and a half. I was completely dependent on her and vulnerable, and I needed her like I would have when I was like a baby or something, and she had to be a mother, a complete mother to me at that point. I don't even know how to describe it, it's so different. I know I was quite resentful back then and closed and angry with her, and I had good reason to be, but I don't feel any of that now. I feel grateful and loved and very close to her.
I want to improve my knowledge about the heart, and I know the feelings, and I know what is the things she doesn't like about me, to be so much blah 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 blah. And this is the reason I try very hard to don't open my mouth when nobody asks me to open. Very difficult. And the important thing, you don't expect the other person to change. You need to change your views, and you need to change yourself, and everything will be different, because everybody is like this and you can change nobody.
You can't hold resentment or anything once a person's taken responsibility for their part in it. I think that frees you from that, and it's like a gift. Now you can walk, you're free to love them after that, because there's nothing in the way anymore. And yeah, I think my mom's a wonderful woman, and she's got wonderful qualities, and I can see that now. I'm not fearful of being like her anymore, because there's a lot about her that I admire, and I would be lucky to have when I'm older. I think that the mother-daughter relationship or a parent-child relationship is a spiritual one, regardless of all the other shit that is shit and good stuff that is going on. And I think that that's why you can't cut that. You can never cut that, because it's way beyond like a realm that we know of.
Disfrutamos del viaje, que fue hermoso.
When Ankona was still alive, I never really took the photos. So I feel really sad. Very guilty. Yeah. Yeah. You are not aware. Yeah. So at least I can have these memories. So Ankona is grandmother in Sutu. We're in April now, so it's five months ago. She passed away. When we used to come out during the holidays and stuff, like she and my mom would be like in the kitchen, like chatting away and laughing, and you know, it's always really just like a happy time.
It touched Zani more than anything. It touched him more than anything. Me too, I was devastated, and Zani was able to support me. But I'm able to do a lot more for her. I've learned a lot that this is how to support a person.
Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive through your bounty. The Christ our Lord. Amen.
You want to use your hand?
Le sono la luna balla più un pane da fuoriso. Le sono la luna balla un pane da sé. Le sono la rotta da storia per te la per Paola. Per cadello va capa cara maramuto.
Ora, itu mic bercakap.
She actually brought it up, you know, she asked me, she said to me, so, how did Kolisina propose? Like, can you imagine? She asked me that. Like, can you imagine, can you have any idea how, like, embarrassing that is? You know?
She was a bit closed. Now she's opened up. And my role is to guide. At this stage, I can't teach her anything new.
My mom is able to show me her vulnerable side and stuff, and then I'm able to see her as more human, you know. And that's allowed me then to express my own vulnerability.
You want to have a fancy toast? And paparazzi has been following me since yesterday.
I don't want to miss a moment.
I don't know what her future holds. I don't know her destiny. But I love who she is, how she is, not as another person. Will support her for whatever choices or whatever, even the bad ones, whatever she decides to do in future. I'm there for her.
But
don't close your eyes. ¿Qué será les años? Los shadows. I was worried all the time, but now I'm more relaxed. I trust him 100% now.
Hail. Isn't that amazing?
Witnessing the transformation in their relationships haunted me. I decided to return to London and interview my mother one last time.
你怕什么？没有怕什么，我 just 不要想太久，我 just enjoy 我的 life 这样 continue 这样就可以了，我都没有有什么好等的，真的，你不要一个人不会 hope 太多，太多了很多东西能够很 disappointed 或什么什么。说一些。如果我是跟 John 很久，我什么你能够 cope 吗 ？Just have to cope。什么 life 已经过了，我已经过了，很难的也是已经过了你，所以我要 just have to cope。你的想法的时候，现在你想是有时候很小，很想，很做，别人才能够想给你想的有的你。你自己的 reason 我有自己的 reason 吧，我的 negative 不是 race， 我的 negative 是钱，是
security 这样的东西，我知道这个。
有想到问一个你的孩子时候怎样人家看你？我开始 realize 你在 Thornhill 的时候你很难跟那个真的 English 人 mix 的因为你的 race 不同啊。现在你就颜色都没有很黑你没有很白，你没有什么，你还是差不多。如果你的皮肤这样可以跟白的人差不多要 mix 只不过你的 feature 不同，所以我已经 create 问题了。你没有给你问题了，已经 create 说你是跟人家不同了。
就是我 fit 很好，跟人相美，跟人相 Ron。
美不同的Ron 是不同的，因为他们是他们的 race 来的
不是，他是 mixed race。
他们是很黑的人嘛他虽然不是我们他们的皮肤的 race 你要想着皮肤 race 的人你知道吗
Thoughts and actions and beliefs are driven by fear. Like my mother was born in a different time in history that was violent and involved in a lot of suffering. I kind of don't need to have the same levels of fear as her. She's not happy with who I am. Dreams or goals with her really. We've talked about, which is nothing personal or emotional and just day-to-day living. And I know that's how my mum relates to me, and that's the only way she kind of can or wants to, so I'm fine with that.
烧你喜欢吃吗？喜欢，可是有时候很硬烤久一点那个还，昨天的比较便宜。没有了，这个一般，差不多一样的。这个320，3磅20，我们的是一般是175。对啊。
我是希望他想，我们就是他这个世界上最亲的人。但是我想他也是这样想。生蚝就比较容易的。
You can say hello to your granny, Sarah.
Hello, Grandma. Oh. Why are you pulling a funny face? Are you shy? You don't have. Look at the camera and just say hello. Well, wave then. Wave to your granny.
Will you wave to me, Sarah? I said, Holly, will you wave to me?
我最记得只是你第一天上课，你才2岁，那个院长出来在外面，我说哦，这个就是 Sarah。他说哦，你可以帮助他。我 just 跟你讲拜拜 Sarah， 你也是说拜拜妈咪，就这样分开。你看到有的人孩子哭啦什么啦，要妈妈停在那边等他们，这个小孩子一讲拜拜，人家到12点11点多12点去带他，玩得好，都没有想到 现在我还想到那个 kindergarten 我进那个门的印象。Oh, this is Sarah. Bye bye. And that's it. Forever.
Following Marion's and Ella's relationships with their mothers had helped me understand the dynamics in my own. In the interviews, we could observe each other from a distance. Interviewing my mother had allowed me to see her as a person living her own life, with her own struggles.
Well done.
The film helped us all to let go of the images we held on to of how things should be, and freed us to begin the journey of seeing each other as separate and whole human beings. A few months ago, my parents and I went on our first safari together in 9 years. I was nervous about how it would go, but my mother was relaxed and happy in a way I have never experienced before. We never talk about Jean, but at least we are still talking to each other.
我让你爬到上面，你会看到南漠美。不同。够我，我拍你够了。
All right, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, it's still at the Money Show, reaching you from Nigeria's capital. My guest is entering the shot, Honorable Wadada, trying to adjust himself. Okay, Honorable Aliu Wadada, a former House Committee chairman on capital markets, is joining me right now. Honorable Wadada, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Where should we start from? You know, where should I start from now? You know,
we should know where to start.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know your party, party, the outgoing president. You know, in a few days' time.
Is PDP.
Your party is PDP, I know.
Which has always been.
Yes, it's always been. Are you thinking of potting? Are you thinking of cross carpeting to APC?
No. I mean, that's not the idea about democracy. The fact that PDP has lost after 16 years. Is not good enough reason for me to defect. And any lover of democracy will want to remain in PDP. Whoever has been PDP should remain in PDP, not because he does not want to join APC, or because APC is is not a party to join, but to remain in PDP and make PDP as formidable as it should be as an opposition, so that you give the effective and needed and effective opposition for democracy to thrive, because democracy will not thrive without a very effective opposition. So remaining in PDP will really help democracy in Nigeria. So I mean, and that doesn't mean that APC is not the party today. APC is the party today because God has given them victory, and the victory is not only for PDP. The victory is for Nigeria and Nigerians, because APC that is coming in will be administering the affairs of Nigeria for the betterment of Nigeria, just like PDP had done for 16 years.
Some people may disagree with you that if the PDP has made indeed Nigeria better, or Nigeria's economy better, perhaps they wouldn't have lost at the center.
No.
Lost a few of the states.
There is no perfect situation anywhere. We shouldn't forget so soon. Yes, even the APC that is coming in will have its own weaknesses by the time it starts. APC, there are governors today, some states are being run by APC, and the situations there, the situations there are not perfect situations. So APC and PDP had spearheaded the affairs of Nigeria for 16 years. In some cases or some areas, yes, I mean, as natural as we all know, weaknesses have been experienced, and you know, just like every other human endeavor, you cannot naturally have a perfect situation. So, but alongside, we congratulate APC, and we pray for the best. Because
why do you think your party lost? I've not asked you that question.
Why do you think your party
lost at the center?
The PDP lost at the center. To be honest with you, because Nigerians wanted change for reasons that are very obvious. Economic downturn, which of course has affected the policies and implementation of the government of the day, and insecurity, which is a global phenomenon that is not only confined to Nigeria, and so those reasons really pushed or ignited, so to say, compelled, if I may use that word, because Nigerians have always loved PDP.
Are you sure? Why would you say Nigerians have always loved PDP?
If Nigerians
they would have expressed their love by voting President
No. Understand what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. Yes. Nigerians had always loved PDP. If not, how could have PDP been in power for 16 years?
Perhaps that's the illusion that the PDP is is on, because perhaps there was no credible opposition at that time.
No, there has always been opposition.
Perhaps the measure of those political parties also helped.
Don't tell me the presence of President-elect General, I will call him General because he has not yet been sworn in. He said from 29 he should be Muhammadu Buhari. The presence and activities of General Muhammadu Buhari within the political terrain of Nigeria from 1999 to it has always been felt. So opposition has always been there. The only difference is this time around the opposition got stronger because of the marriage.
That is what I said, that perhaps PDP was in that illusion because opposition was not as strong
PDP, but President Goodluck Jonathan himself said it before the elections that it will not be business as usual. The 2015 elections will definitely be different. Nobody in PDP was under any illusion. Nobody was under any illusion. Everybody knew
that you would win again, and it will just come
naturally. Even Abga, if Abga had a presidential candidate, Abga would have thought nobody will go into election with the feeling that he or she is going to lose. So PDP, yes, and after all, we are in government. It's not that we don't have anything good to show, regardless of the weaknesses.
Tell me what are the good things PDP or the outgoing government should show? So of course it's your party, and when you were an honorable member in the Federal House of Representatives, you were very influential. You were the pioneer chairman of House Committee on Capital Markets. That was some years ago. Tell me what are the gains of the outgoing government? Of course, in as much as you would say that they had weaknesses here and there, perhaps are there good things to talk about? Are the
outgoing government, we are taking PDP in general.
Give me the gains of the outgoing government, not the PDP generally.
The gains of the outgoing government, because I think I had cause in one of my appearances here to say that if nothing, the unbundling of the power sector is a step to achieving the most desired set objective in Nigeria, because today in 21st century there is virtually nothing you will be able to achieve without power, and we know that bureaucracy and so many other bottlenecks which have been within the administration of the power sector had always posed, or has over the years posed, very serious challenge and hindrances to achieving government policies as far as power sector is concerned. So the unbundling it is, without mincing words, is a milestone and an achievement by the PDP administration or President Goodluck Jonathan's administration that credit should be given to. And again,
have you seen the gains of that unbundling? I know that some people.
Of course, it's not a gain that will be seen or taken or benefited immediately.
Yeah, but the thing is that
it's the right step in the right direction.
Nigerians want to see electricity. How many hours of electricity do you have in a day in your house?
The situation is so extremely bad, really and truly. In Apple, I mean within the FCC, that is Federal Capital City, I think Apple Legislative Quarters is the worst of all the settlements or the components that make or the communities or districts that make up the Federal Capital City. I came back from Lagos yesterday, and from the time I got back up till the time I left my house, there has been no light, you know. So but that is not to say the unbundling is not a credit. It is, of course, a credit to Goodluck Jonathan's administration. In the transport sector, though there have been issues here and there, but it is one thing. It is better to take a decision. In this case, it is better to conceptualize a policy and start to implement it. Of course, the fullest gains may not be gotten within the shortest period of expectation. Just like General Muhammad Buhari said, that Nigerians should not expect miracles, because really and truly some Nigerians are of the illusion, yes, I think I would be right to say illusion, that as soon as General Muhammad Buhari comes to power or into office, assumes office, all the problems of Nigeria will be solved. It is not possible.
We'll come back to that in a short while. For those watching us and you want to send your comments, please do that right about now. Go to Twitter, find me at Nancy, follow me and send your comments as regarding what we're looking at today. This morning, Honorable Aliu Wadada is joining me, former House Committee Chairman on Capital Markets. We will now start talking about the challenges for the incoming government. You've of course said that your PDP outgoing government has done pretty well in a few things, though you said that they do have challenges naturally. But now let's take a look at the incoming government in a few days' time. They did campaign on the mantra of change. Some will say changing, because I heard different versions of it. Oh, changing, say Buhari, say changing, and all of that. The APC is going to be coming in a few days' time. What are your expectations? They said a lot of things. Their policy direction will be unveiled today in Abuja. I guess as a politician you would have heard that, because I know you should also have friends across board.
No, come on.
Yeah, come on. So the policy direction will be unveiled today. We'll get that and we'll start analyzing it, of course, as soon as it comes out. But when the APC was campaigning, it campaigned on a lot of things. The economy will be revived, a lot of things. Education perhaps will be free for all if possible, and all of that. Social welfare, they ran on the welfare risk platform. Tell me your views dispassionately. If you can take off your PDP hat for a while, I would appreciate that.
My PDP hat will never be taken off, and I will be as realistic, objective and realistic as possible. The APC is not a Ghanaian party, neither is it a Cameroonian party. It's a Nigerian party, and let me say loud and clear that I was privileged to be a member of the group that actually made to a very reasonable extent this marriage that led to the revolution we are experiencing today in Nigeria. I was a member, and not only an ordinary member, I was an executive member of PDP2. I was the National Financial Secretary of PDP2, and PDP2 made it possible. So it is all about Nigeria. Politics is segmented. It's naturally supposed to be segmented. Politics before elections, politics during campaigns, and politics after elections. We are now talking politics after elections. So, PDP, APC, just like PDP and all other political parties, went to the electorates with a bundle of promises and what have you. And I wouldn't want to be pessimistic here on the promises of APC, but I will want to look at some of the promises as realistic as possible. If you say social welfare, or you talk employment, which is one of the fundamental problems we have, because we have an army of youths all over the country that are jobless. So creating employment does not come from the skies, because as it is today, with the low level of employed Nigerians, there are cries all around the country on the lack of payment of salaries and what have you. First and foremost, I will expect APC government to look inward and see how wealth can be created. And apart from seeing how wealth can be created, there are agencies within we must check, APC government must check fiscal recklessness, high expenditure profile of government and governance. And again, there are agencies like Pension Commission. Pension Commission has so much unutilized or idle funds. There is over $1 trillion under PENCOM, and what PENCOM does is it invests in government instruments, treasury bills and bonds. But the incoming administration must make sure PENCOM invests in the real sector, because if it does invest in the real sector, there will be proliferation of business activities, which will now create the opportunities for employment. And because there will be proliferation of activities, business activities, which will lead to creation of wealth and providing employment, that will if that is what APC as a party refers to welfareism, then I can understand. But welfareism as to social what do you call it?
Social welfare.
Social welfare. Yeah.
Welfare scheme.
Social welfare scheme. I don't think that will be possible under any government in the present day Nigeria within the next 10, 11, 12, 13
Why are you
years.
that pessimistic that we can't have a social welfare scheme, bearing in mind that Nigeria is an oil-producing country? If we are able to plug in the leakages that we have right now,
Yeah.
I'm always of the view that Nigeria can operate a 10 to 12 trillion naira budget if we harness almost everything, if not 100% of what we have.
The fact that if we diversify,
yes, if we diversify,
good. If we diversify, because there are other sources of revenue in Nigeria, but our concentration has always been on the oil and gas sector, and the oil and gas sector is experiencing what it is experiencing today globally. Our revenue profile has gone below 50. Has gone lower by 50%, and so the income is now low, and it is not for us to just look at us and Nigeria as oil producing country, but look at Nigeria within, around and about the oil sector in conformity with the what is experienced globally. There are crises here, which has America has been before now one of our major
buyers of oil.
I think in the last 6, 7 to 8
more
months.
Than that, since July of
last year. Yeah. Nigeria hasn't bought even
the US.
Yeah, the US hasn't bought even a liter from Nigeria. If you will talk, So that is a setback that must be looked into. But talking about other sources, we are agriculturally, endowed, naturally endowed to have taken much more broader, deeper steps to deepen agricultural activities in Nigeria for as revenue income. So if that is done, even if that is done with the bundle of liabilities we have, our domestic debt is over 5 billion naira, right?
Dollars.
$5 billion, our domestic debt, and then the foreign debt profile. I really don't have the figure, but I guess you should have it. So with all those liabilities on the table, even if we are able to diversify and effectively utilize diversification, social welfareism cannot be in place immediately. It is not impossible at the end of the day, but not immediately. So what is key is for the incoming administration to look inward, just like I said about PENCOM, AMCON is sitting on assets. How do you create value around, about what AMCON is sitting on? Because if that is not done, AMCON is likely to be another bubble that may burst anytime. And since privatization is still taking place, is an ongoing process, the capital market, the stock market has to be deepened. And how do you deepen it? There is a major advantage that Nigeria has as far as deepening and growing the Nigerian capital market is concerned that we are still not looking at. Population is one of the advantages we have, and we should be able to leverage on that to deepen and grow the Nigerian capital market by creating and insisting on mutual funds, so that the Gari seller in Wuse market, the Alabo, seller in Kefi market will be able to participate, invest in the market through the vehicle mutual funds. And if that is done, you can imagine how what that will do to wealth creation and the capital base of the market. So when things like this are looked into by the incoming administration, nothing will be impossible.
Do you think that Muhammadu Buhari will be friendly to the Nigerian capital market? Would have been friendly to the Nigerian market? Yes, do you think he will be friendly to the capital market?
He has to be friendly to the capital market because General Muhammadu Buhari has always loved Nigeria, has always been concerned about Nigeria. I think which is why he insisted on running from 1999 to date, and God has given it to him because he feels there are one or two areas that he needs to really take care of to make life worth living for Nigerians. And if he really wants to make life worth living, the capital market is a global vehicle, is a global phenomenon that he cannot have option of not being friendly with. It is a component of the Nigerian economy. So he will be friendly with the Nigerian capital market. But why are you asking? Are you doubtful of, or do you have anything that informs your question?
No, I